security that afternoon.
When you see a firefighter, police officer, paramedic, or telecommunicator going the extra mile, let WGNS know, and we at Demas's Restaurant will salute them as the emergency responder of the week.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. You know, their charitable foundation, Sharing Change, is funded by members who round up their electric bills to the nearest dollar each month as a donation, and they support hundreds of nonprofits. Find out more about that at sharingchange.org if you'd like to participate. Today, we're talking with our friends from Journey Home, and yeah, I guess I can say friend. Scott Foster's here. Definitely friend. I don't know about this. Who's this guy you brought with you, Scott?
Yeah, you know.
I'm a newcomer.
Phil Barnett is with us this morning, and Phil is serving on our board and chairing our development group and just doing a great job. Phil has been so involved with organizations and good causes in our community for a long time, and we're blessed to have him.
Yeah, really has. I served on the Salvation Army advisory board with him, and it seems like you would go from one board to the next, your meetings all the time, huh?
I learned quickly if you had minimal skills and were willing to work for nothing, that somebody would hire you.
Yeah.
Now, I have to tell you, my most important job at the Journey Home, I'm the Thursday bread man.
Oh,
there you go.
Thursday bread man. What do you do as the Thursday bread man?
Every Thursday morning, I go to Rotary, and as soon as Rotary's over, I jump in the car and I go to Publix out on Rutherford. And those lovely people at Publix, this is a real shout out to them. They do this all week long, but I have Thursday. I go out there and I fill my car from the bakery department with breads, cakes, cupcakes, cookies, pies, everything they can put on one or even two carts. And then the next stop is at the Journey Home, where the wonderful people who are there to be taken care of come out of the building and help me bring all of that into the kitchen. They're free. Go ahead and take one or two of the bread products, and then all of the sweets go into the kitchen, where they'll be divvied up and served with the meals.
That lemon pound cake that was in your floorboard, though, that had...
Well, there's usually there's usually something that tragically falls out of the box. I mean,
it just happens. I understand. So, and that's every day, and you just have Thursday, right?
I just have Thursday, but I mean it's every day from the folks out there at Publix, and I mean, who knows how many thousands of dollars? Who knows how many? I guess they weigh it now, but who knows how many thousands of pounds of perfectly good food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I buy cookies that expire tomorrow, I eat the whole box today because I don't want to get sick tomorrow.
Of course, that's a good reason to do that, right?
Most people, when they buy a box of cookies, even if the date says best by tomorrow, they're going to have it on their shelf for a week or two. And this is stuff that, you know, maybe not even expiring until the day after I deliver it. So, I mean, it's just such a gift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you, Scott, you've got so many partners like Publix, I know, that just really make your organization go and do the most good.
We do indeed. You know, talking about that particular Publix store, we've been picking up there every day since June of 2007. So that's about 17 years, I guess.
Wow.
And they have been just wonderful to us. We have others. We have a whole nother team of volunteers that pick up at Starbucks restaurants, coffee shops every day and bring that over. A lot of those products we use in our breakfast program at Journey Home. And of course we have lots of church groups that come in and do our lunch meals and weekend meals. And, you know, they have different restaurants and different caterers, and then many times they just get the food and bring it and cook it right on site. So man, there are just so many people in the community that all pitch in, and that's how it works. If everybody is doing what they can, their little part, then it all comes together, and we can actually serve people in our community and help them move ahead.
Well, I know one of the things that we're going to be talking about today is your fundraising event, and that's coming up on March 4th, which I guess, gosh, that's next Monday.
Monday.
It is.
And part of this, Phil, is, I mean, all of this good that's being done, you've really you have no more space, really, for the services that you're providing. And there's a big capital campaign going on now, right?
Well, there are two different things, and Scott's going to talk about capital campaign, but you don't think about this. Our community has been incredibly generous as the capital campaign has gone in place, but we still have day-to-day operations.
Yeah.
We can't close down anything we're doing and shift that money to the capital side. And so this is our inaugural event, and it's incredibly exciting. We set a goal of 250 people and finally, reluctantly, shut it off at 300 people.
Oh, wow. Good.
So this is our inaugural event. There is going to be a Journey 25 and a Journey 26 and a Journey 27, and one day I'll die of old age and they'll still be doing journeys. And this is going to be an annual event. It's going to be an annual event really for two reasons. It's a fundraiser. There's no joke about it. The people that I invited, I said, don't leave home without your checkbook. It's a fundraiser. But it's also a friend raiser. It's amazing to me the number of people who go, what's a journey home?
Mm-hmm.
And so if we can teach people what a fantastic job, what a fantastic contribution the Journey Home is making in our community, then they can tell that story to other people. Or that may be the next church group that comes on a day or an evening to actually be the cook. Or they may know a restaurant, oh gosh, they've been throwing away all of the salad stuff for years. Well, maybe we're the place they should be throwing it. It's going to be Monday, and it's going to be, fortunately, we were smart enough to pick a day at the Student Union at MTSU when the kids are on spring break. Because parking, as you well know,
Sure.
is always a nightmare at MTSU. So parking is going to be easy. We're going to have about 300 folks there. We're going to have a very specific program to tell folks about the Journey Home and the amazing work and the large numbers and everything the Journey Home does to help folks. And I think it's going to be fun. It's entirely for daily operations. And so unfortunately, or fortunately, none of that money will go towards the building campaign, but all of it will help with a multitude of programs that go on every day. What I would encourage folks to do, because part of this is kind of a new step for us, what I would encourage folks to do is go to lovegodservepeople.org, lovegodservepeople.org, and go to that website and make a monthly donation. It could be $30. That's $1 a day. But make it as a monthly contribution. You won't miss it out of your checking account or against your bank card. It could be 30, it could be 50, it could be 100. We'd welcome somebody who wanted to do 10,000 a month. That would be really helpful. But get in the habit of setting it up so that it's a monthly and you don't even have to worry about it. And then we have at least someplace we can look and know that at least that amount is a constant monthly source of income. So we really want people to make that kind of a donation or a one-time donation. But everything that we do this Monday is going to be entirely for the daily operations of our current organization.
So, Scott, give me like a minute or two of what daily operations look like at Journey Home.
Sure. Our programs are pretty broad. So, and they fall basically into just a few categories. First, when people are unsheltered and they're out in the elements, they need a place to be. They need a place to get meals. And so we deal with food insecurity. We provide meals, 2 meals a day, every day of the week. In fact, a few days we provide 3 meals a day. Also provide meals at our coldest nights winter shelter, which is soon coming to an end. It's open tonight. It was 70 degrees this morning. And
Yeah.
It's going to be 20-something degrees tonight. And also then we have our medical clinic that is open 2 days a week, 2 mornings a week over at the center. We also do case management and coaching to help people move from homelessness into housing. And sometimes that involves interim steps, helping them find employment. If they're disabled, helping them find an income route to get disability income, maybe for veterans or maybe for, adults that have disabling conditions. And then helping them move into housing. One of the great things about our new facility that we're building is that we'll have some interim housing for families with children. I think a lot of times people, they understand some of the basic things we do at Journey Home, the community cafe and having a place for people to shower and wash their clothes and get clothing and hygiene products and underwear and things like that. We don't think about socks and underwear very much. We
Right.
just get them out of our drawer. Well,
Or
you
when
don't
they're
have a
dirty, go
drawer,
clean them, yeah.
That's right. And but all those things are sort of prerequisite to sitting down with someone and then developing, assessing the goals that they want to achieve and developing a strategy and a plan to do that. And
It's difficult to do that with someone who has got all of that going on to do coaching and here,
It is.
when they have food insecurity, when they don't have clothing, that kind of thing.
That's right. But
Yeah.
that's at the core of what we do.
Yeah.
All of the other things help get people into the building. But once they're in the building, then we can engage them. We start to build a relationship. Then we can start to understand where they want to go and help put resources and plans to that to actually make it, happen. Ultimately, the way that we reduce homelessness in our community is we get people housed and back into community life. And that involves housing, health, and income. I mean, those are the 3 key elements. They can't exist without each other. And so we address all of those at Journey Home.
Well, Phil, I'm glad you kind of set us straight on what's going on with this particular fundraiser because it is important. You can't overlook the day-to-day operations. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a need for another facility because you wouldn't be able to serve the people that you have now. So, and maybe we'll spend a little more time on your capital campaign a bit later on. But this first ever event is going to be something pretty special. So for, I think some people are a little apprehensive about coming to something that's new or something they haven't been to. But this is kind of explain what they should expect when they walk in the door over at the Student Union.
Well, the important thing is it is a fundraiser, but it's also a friend raiser. There will be people who come to this event and for whatever reason may not leave a donation at all. Hope that's a small number. But there may be people who do that, but they'll walk out of there with a new knowledge of what the Journey Home is about. And they'll mention to their friends that, hey, I was at a thing the other day. Did you know there is a Journey Home? And did you know what their mission is? And did you know how many people they actually serve? And do you know it's not just a free meal and then go back out on the street, that they're doing so much more for these people? So a big part of it's going to be education. And what I think you're going to see is you're going to see an introduction. And, that introduction may be by our esteemed president, founder, and visionary, Scott himself. And then there's going to be some testimonies. And the testimonies, they'll make a grown man cry. The testimonies of people who have just, they're out of luck. They don't think there's any chance. They've got a family. They've got a couple of kids. Those kids are never going to have the opportunities to be like every other kid. they're down. They're absolutely down, and there's no chance it's ever going to get better. And you listen to them, and you listen to their stories, and you see the difference between, we took care of basic needs. We put a pair of pajamas on the kids. We fed the family. We made sure about your health. We did a whole litany of things that are basic needs, like where are my socks? Yeah, now they have socks. We did all of those things, but now we're going to do additional things that are going to prepare you for greater independence, and ultimately it may never be better than a rental situation. They may never be able to afford their own home, but at least they'll be in their own home. They'll have a job. They'll have a family that's a single unit, and kids that come home from school in the afternoon smiling. So it's going to be twofold. You're going to see some introduction for the folks that don't know what Journey Home's about, and to refresh those of us that think we do, and then find out that, oh, I didn't know you did housing. I thought you just did the cafe. I had no idea. To educate us, then there's going to be some testimonials where you're going to see the great work, the incredible work that the Journey Home does. And then, there's going to be an ask, because without that money, we're in deep trouble in terms of being able to continue to provide all those services. One of the things that I think is especially cool, I've been doing the bread route now for probably close to 2 years. And so now when I pull in on Thursday, they recognize my car, and they actually, people who are there for services, not staff, but people who are there for services, come out and help me unload the boxes from my car. And then I usually take a little bit of time to talk with them. And they're just ordinary folks. They're no different than you or me or Scott. Now, they're down on their luck. They don't have a shiny car, and they don't go home to a house they own.
Right.
And they may not know where their socks are. I just choose not to wear socks. But I mean, they may not know where their socks are. But you talk to these folks, and I remember when I worked at Nissan, I remember when we were making that car. Or I remember, when, and, what do you think about the political situation today? Oh, no, I'm not going there. Oh, no. But I mean, you have an ordinary conversation with delightful people who are a little bit down on their luck right now, and the Journey Home is there to help them get back up on their feet.
Journey, go ahead.
If I might just jump in, when you said a lot of people know that we have the cafe and things like that, but they may not know that we house people. We've worked with over 200 households last year in our rehousing program, and it's something that we work with over a longer period of time. Usually the financial assistance is only for a few months, but then our caseworkers continue coaching with that particular household for a longer period of time, maybe even up to a year, so it may span from year to year, but it really impacts a lot of people. But there's a huge need. We'll work with 1,800 or so unique individuals, maybe 1,200 households, and we only get to work with, that smaller amount in housing.
Well, enjoyed our conversation today. LoveGodServePeople.org. You can find out more about Journey Home, the Journey 24 fundraising event on March 4th. We'll put a link to that in the podcast that we post as well. And Scott, Phil, thanks for coming in. We'll have to do it again.
It's our pleasure.
And don't forget, if you missed part of the program, want to go back and listen back, you can do that at WGNSradio.com/listen.
This is Lenny Farmer with Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home. Did you know that